looks like the cold weather is settling in to stay, at least for a while. Today, you and your car segment, we visit with Glenn Johnson of Johnson Automotive. Talk a little bit about steps we should take to winterize our car. And I'm just wondering, Glenn, first of all, good morning to you. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you. I hope everybody had a great holiday for the Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, it does look like at least it's been good. But I tell you what, we've gone from that mild weather, kind of stepped back into more seasonal cold temperatures. And I was thinking this morning, you know, is there really any, on the newer cars, is there really anything you have to do to winterize a car anymore?
No, main thing is about every 50,000 miles, it's a good idea to flush the cooling system on it. And we use like the Prestone, all makes and models. It goes in everything that's built now. This one cooling work in it. Before we had 4 different ones: the green, the orange, the yellow, and da da da.
Right.
And now they've come out with this one fits all. And I tell you what, it's really took a lot of the headaches out of making sure you've got the correct cooling in your vehicle.
Boy, don't you know? You remember just like I do the old days of overheating engines and having to, every year when it got cold, you had to flush and make sure you had the new antifreeze in. But now we have closed systems, right?
Yeah, we have closed systems now, and it's so much easier. But you know, I had a customer the other day come in with a vehicle that was didn't have any cooling water in it. She said, well, sometimes it runs hot and sometimes it don't. We put 2 gallons in it.
Oh, wow.
And found a leak in it. And she said, but the oil, I mean, the heat temperature light never come on. Imagine that you have a bucket of water and you have the thermometer that's got the stick on it, and you're sitting there looking at it, and it's room temperature up here, and you put it over it, and it's going to come up a little bit. Well, it's not going to go to 220 until you put that thermometer in the water.
I got you.
And when you go put it in the water, it goes up to the 220. Well, your motor's the same situation. That you have like a thermostat, a sensor that's in the water, and once in their intaker head, but once the water goes past it, it's not going to give you a true reading. Most of the time it'll show lower on your gauge, and if it's doing that, most of the time you have a problem. Either you have a thermostat stuck open, or you're low on coolant. And people say, well, as long as it's low, it don't bother, you know, driving it. Well, this person almost burnt the motor up in her car, and this year, all the motors that we've replaced, all but one was related to temperature. They ran it hot, something to that effect. All of them but one. And the one that wasn't had 277,000 miles on a Suburban.
But it also points, doesn't it, Glenn, to the fact that we've become a self-serve society, that we don't check our cars, that we don't do the kind of maintenance that we had to do in the past? Exactly.
We've got laxed on that. Because used to, you know, you tuned up your car every 10,000 miles. Well, now 90% of the cars on the road goes 100,000 miles without a tune-up. Yes, you need to flush the cooling system about every 50,000 miles, and yes, you have to do the fuel injection cleaning, and that's another different subject too. That if you're not doing that pressure clean injection cleaner with a motor vac engine flush deal, gas system flush and all, you're not doing much by putting a can of cleaner in it, or some of the lube centers, including ours. We have a drip deal that we put it in. That is helpful, but it will not decarbonize the cylinders. It won't clean any of the injectors. It will help it, don't get me wrong, but you have to do that a whole lot more frequent than you do on the flushing them. So, but that's a couple of things. And another thing people don't think about down here is up north, people up north, they have to use the windshield washers concentrated with the antifreeze, and we keep it in stock, and we very seldom ever see anybody that stocks it, but
might be something to think about.
Bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think about it till it busts, and then you bust your windshield washer bottle, and it burns up, it breaks the motor in it. Well, you've done spent, you know, $250.
I got you. We'll come back. We're going to talk some more with Glenn. Johnson's Automotive, you and your car.